From the pages of Power Slam issue 5, December 1994, a blast furnace of journalistic fury, a declaration of war on the complacency infecting professional wrestling, and a sneering middle finger to the corporate puppeteers pulling the strings behind the glittering facade of the squared circle. These 30 pages are not a magazine. They are a living document of defiance. Fueled by sarcasm, soaked in cynicism, and sharpened to a razor's edge, Power Slam wasn't trying to be liked. It was trying to awaken you. And if your favorite wrestler took a hit in the process, good. They probably deserved it. This issue opens with an unapologetic eulogy for Ric Flair. A scathing, heartfelt goodbye not just to the man, but to the era he embodied. WCW, in all its clueless, Hulk-obsessed glory, refused to give the Nature Boy a send-off befitting his legacy after he was fed to Hogan at Halloween Havoc like a sacrificial lamb to the golden calf. But Power Slam steps up to do what Turner executives wouldn't. Tip their hat to the Rolex-wearing, limousine-riding, kiss-stealing icon who made wrestling an art form of arrogance and agony. In their pages, Flair isn't just remembered, he's canonized in crimson and champagne. Then we descend into the tragedy of Jerry the King Lawler, once a titan of Memphis mayhem, now reduced to a punchline in Vince McMahon's Technicolor circus. King of the Carnival charts Lawler's slide from blood-soaked brawler to court jester, from pile drivers to punchlines. No longer the master of the Mid-South, Lawler has become a mascot in tights, delivering zingers instead of right hooks, a victim of his own longevity in a business that chews through legends like sunflower seeds. It's not an obituary, it's an autopsy. And if that's not enough, Beyond the Horizon lays bare the future of wrestling, those still clawing their way up from obscurity, dripping with potential, untouched by the poison of mainstream exposure. Finn Martin surveys the landscape like a general inspecting his troops before the battle begins. Here are the next greats, blooming beneath the spotlight's reach, ready to carve their names into history with barbed wire and broken bones. But few journeys burn hotter than that of Cold Scorpio, whose spectacular rise unfolds across multiple continents and cultures like a whirlwind of moonsaults and mystery. From Japan's Top of the Super Juniors to Mexico's UWA under the name Flying Scorpio, he took his arsenal of topes, 450s, and springboards into uncharted territory, making believers of even the most jaded lucha fans. And when Bill Watts finally brought him home to WCW, he exploded onto American TV with the unforgettable Scorpio Splash, redefining aerial warfare before your very eyes. They asked who, Cold who, and got their answer with a jaw on the floor. In a bold act of creative treason, Power Slam then dives into the realm of the hypothetical with a fantasy booking dream bomb. What if Sting and Bret Hart turned heel? What if two of the most steadfast paragons of virtue turned their backs on the fans, embraced darkness, and became the monsters they once battled? This wasn't a parody, it was prophecy. A daring peek into the chaos that could unfold if the rules were rewritten and the heroes fell. It's audacious, absurd, and absolutely glorious. The columns crackle with venom and insight. From the top hits with breaking news and editorial missiles, refusing to play nice or pander. Stateside casts a British sneer at American excess, dissecting angles and idiocy with equal measure. Vid Review takes a sledgehammer to home video classics, with a Finn Martin burying and praising tapes like Super Tape 92 and the best of Barry Windham with flair and finality. Then there's Manners Matt Musings, a Christmas column written by someone who would rather give Bob Backlund a dictionary than a pat on the back. From handing the Nasty Boys a mech job at McDonald's to offering Jim Cornette a plate of glass for smashing expectations, the entire list reads like a festive hit piece wrapped in tinsel and malice. And nestled in the center like a bulletproof vest made of nostalgia, a pull-out poster of Ric Flair in full regalia. It's a moment frozen in time. Flair before the fall, before the final betrayal, staring down the future with a smirk that says, I built this house. In contrast, the letters page explodes with fan commentary. The Duggan debacle, Where's Mr. Perfect, highs and lows of PW, written by readers who know the business better than some bookers and aren't afraid to scream it into the void. The fans aren't just talking, they're waging war, line by line, letter by letter. Pages 21 to 30 close this masterpiece with a thunderous exclamation point. To Cold Scorpio's saga continues as his name spreads from Tokyo to Tijuana and finally into the mainstream American bloodstream. Wrestling fans, long fed on the same bland diet of Hogan vitamins and gimmick soup, were finally being offered something different, something explosive, something real. And Power Slam was the only magazine willing to throw gasoline on that fire and toss the match. This issue wasn't about nostalgia, it was about accountability, about torching the safe takes and exposing the rot behind the curtain. In a world where dirt sheets whispered and newsletters played it safe, Power Slam screamed, kicked, and clawed its way into your face. It dragged the business out of its comfort zone and forced it to confront its sins. Flair's farewell, Scorpio's ascension, Lawler's decline, Hart's hypothetical heel turn, none were treated with restraint. All were given the Power Slam treatment, unfiltered, unforgiving, and unforgettable.